Welcome to episode 9, everybody, of High Heat. And today we're going to be doing a holiday special for Christmas time. We're going to make 2 dishes. First thing we're going to be making is pumpkin bread. We're going to do pretty much homemade. We're going to be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use any type of flour really will do. We're also going to use 2 cups of sugar, just regular cane sugar, about a half a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to use a teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to be using a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of the ground nutmeg, 1.5 sticks of butter, and 2 eggs. Pumpkin puree. Libby's is the best brand out there. And that's all you need for the pumpkin bread. And we're going to be making 2 loaves. Just get a loaf pan or 2. And this also will work with pumpkin muffins as well. And the other thing we're going to be making, corn casserole. We're going to be using cream corn, sweet cream corn. And we're going to be using whole kernel corn that we're going to drain in the sink. The Jiffy cornbread mix, that's like $1 at basically any store. About 8 ounces of sour cream. And we're going to be using a stick of butter for that. And the pan we're going to use to bake it in is actually an 8x8 dish. You can use a 9x13 or something similar, but I love the 8x8. I think it's actually kind of perfect for this dish. And we're going to be throwing it all in the oven at a 325 degree heat. The pumpkin bread's going to take about an hour. The corn casserole is going to be about 45 minutes. So to start out with the pumpkin bread, we're going to first throw all the dry ingredients into a small bowl here. And then we're going to put all the wet ingredients in a separate bowl, mix them together when they're both finished, and then we're going to put it in the pan. So let's go ahead and start with our dry ingredients. So now that the dry ingredients are blended and whisked together, we're going to go ahead and start with the wet ingredients. First thing you should do is soften your butter. But we're going to put it in the microwave just for a little bit, just to soften it. And then we're going to mix it with the eggs and the pumpkin puree. And then we're going to whisk that together. And then we're going to blend it all together, put it in the loaf pan. We're going to go ahead and grease our 2 loaf pans. I like to use Pam. We're going to go ahead and start on the corn casserole. And the first thing that I always do with corn casserole is I take the stick of butter and I soften it in the microwave. The reason I do that first is because it takes a few minutes to cool back down. You don't want to use hot butter, it'll start cooking already. For the 2 cans of corns, we're going to drain the whole kernel corn, not the cream corn, just the whole kernel corn, because there's just a lot of water in there that's unnecessary. The cream corn is fine, you can just dump it right in the bowl. So let's go ahead and drain the whole kernel corn first. So we're gonna go ahead and put the corn casserole in with the pumpkin bread, just to speed up time. Now normally the corn casserole will go in at 350 for about 45 minutes. But because it's at 325, it might be 5 or 10 minutes longer. But we'll do a toothpick check at the end of 45 minutes just to be sure. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it in now, and we'll check it in about 45 minutes. The pumpkin bread finished perfectly in about 60 minutes. The corn casserole, I did leave it in for an extra 10 minutes. Once I took the pumpkin bread out, I put it back up to 350. Basically 45 minutes to an hour is what corn casserole will need. And I did the toothpick test and it's all good. So let's go ahead and do our taste test for you. Alright, well, the moment of truth is here. The pumpkin bread, by the way, is perfect. I checked the bottom, it's not burnt, which is kind of the main thing I check for when I bake. An hour was basically perfect time. Let's go ahead and start with the pumpkin bread. It feels very fluffy. It looks like everything was blended well together. So let's see how we did. This is the best pumpkin bread I've ever made, and you saw how simple it was. I mean, really, you probably have most of these ingredients, and I just want to say that the bottom is very nice and crispy, but the middle and everything inside is super fluffy and super rich, which is exactly what you want. You don't want it too burnt, you don't want it not done on the inside. This is perfect. So 60 minutes on 325, you'll be golden. And please make 2 loaves, because I could probably eat an entire loaf in one sitting. This is that good. So make 2 loaves, and if you don't eat it, give it to a neighbor or something. Now we're gonna try the corn casserole, which I'm very excited about because it looks very creamy and it looks like it was done perfectly. This was perfectly done. I was really worried that with the 25-degree difference, cooking it with the pumpkin bread would make it, not well done. Oh, it's perfect on the inside. Leaving it in for an extra 10 minutes was a perfect idea. And it's so creamy, but with the bread mix inside, it's literally a corn casserole. I mean, it's almost like a corn cake, but it's so rich and fluffy at the same time. And the corn just adds the crunch to it, the extra sweetness. And this is one of the best holiday foods ever, but I highly recommend that you make this not just on the holidays, but make it for family gatherings and stuff, because trust me, every time I make it, people love it and they want more of it. And you saw how easy that was. Bring this to your Christmas dinner, bring it to your whatever, and everybody will remember it, and they'll always probably want you to make this every time. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to finish eating this because this is absolutely delicious. And we'll see you next time.